Singh, Mumbai-based former IPS officer and legal activist, says Supriya Sule and Sharad Pawar must explain for their dealings with this particular corporation. Second part of the story, and Shazia Elmi is now joining the debate, is where you have said Kejriwal had all the material relating to Sharad Pawar. He had the material?
Yes, he had.
Therefore,
substantially he had.
Substantially.
Yes.
You worked together with him on it.
Yes.
You had a meeting in Delhi about this at Prashant Bhushan's residence.
Yes, in May.
On the 8th of May. And you alleged, and I want you to repeat that tonight, that instead of putting out what in your view was the real bombshell, Arvind Kejriwal put out something which was, in your view, nowhere comparable to this particular charge. I want you to make that point clear so I get a response from Shazia.
When we got an inkling that the irrigation scam is being exposed, we thought it is this scam because Arvind Kejriwal and myself worked on this case in 2009. Thereafter, again, we had spoken to it in Prashant Bhushan's residence. We had exchanged some emails also on this.
Did he ever tell you, yes, I will? Did he ever tell you that, yes, I will put out this expose?
I don't think he spoke that in a very categorical terms. He had put in the general list of allegations in a manner which is not so prominent, whereas these self-speaking and very incriminating facts had to stand out and have to be made a specific allegation.
Now, this is a piece of paper, Shazia Elmi, which I have, which is, in fact, I find interestingly, this is the interim report of the People's Commission of Inquiry, April 20th, 2009, to inquire into this project. Members of the commission, first person is Arvind Kejriwal, only second person is YP Singh, then SM Mushrif and Shri Suryavanshi. So Arvind Kejriwal was spearheading all this research which YP Singh has. Now tell me, did you not find this information good enough, valid enough, legally sustainable enough, or important enough? Or is it because you came under political pressure, as YP Singh has alleged, or it did not suit your political interest to bring this information out in the public domain yesterday?
Arnav, only because we found the information relevant enough and good enough that we put it on our website on 26th of May. It is exactly these papers that we showed to the media and did a big press conference when we spoke about corruption charges against 15 ministers.
But
all these documents are there.
You clubbed it.
I must rack your memory a little bit. Arnav, you're very fond of pulling out facts, right? Please go back to your library. Please check out 26th May archives, and you'll find our own presser with exactly the same details, all the legal documents of the same kind that Mr. YP Singh is presenting now. And I would like to say here, just like it is difficult to touch Robert Vadra and the first family, it is extremely difficult to say anything against Sharad Pawar. We salute somebody like Mr. Singh. It's people like him, and I'm glad that he's making it a big thing. We are with him on this, and so much
the point is that now you are.
You must do some research.
No, now you are. See, Shazia, 1 minute. I know what you said and you did not say in April. I know what documents you put out. But the question tonight, 1 minute, Shazia, 1 minute. The question tonight is about your emphasis. This information, it is argued, sticks much more than the information which you put out. Can you tell me why, in your view, YP Singh yesterday, what they put out, does not stand in comparison to the information you put out today?
I wouldn't like to attribute very sinister motives. Either Shazia has been my old associate and older has been Arvind Kejriwal. But the fact remains that it was required for him to have converted this information into an actionable information so that this case could have been legally pursued the way
How could he have done that?
He could have done it the way which we have tried to present, make it actionable, support it with documents, make enough material so that there can be a complaint with reference to an FIR made, an FIR registered, investigation happens, arrest and all these things, and then charge sheet happens and then the trial. Now, what happened in this case? It was not made actionable. Arvind Kejriwal perhaps he is a politician. I have every right to criticize him as a politician. He found it politically expedient to assail BJP because BJP is a force in Delhi, and if he can malign Congress in Delhi, malign BJP, then the bulk of the vote.
Are you saying tonight
him.
with all
NCP
the are you saying tonight that Arvind Kejriwal is using the information that is coming to him selectively depending upon what his political interest is and who he wants to target politically at which point of time?
So,
because is that what you're saying?
So long as Arvind Kejriwal was soliciting our legal services
as an activist
and from me as a lawyer, when he was doing it for his India Against Corruption and the NGO, it was fine. It was Arvind Kejriwal, the fervent Arvind Kejriwal, converting information into an actionable information. But the day he became a politician, he has to look after his political interests. There is a conflict between his interests and the desirability of his actions.
You're saying that he feels he has nothing to gain politically by doing this expose?
NCP is not a force to reckon with in Delhi. BJP is, and perhaps to take away the BJP votes, it's a political strategy. There's nothing wrong in it because he's a politician.
NCP.
It's fine, he's a politician.
NCP has a problem with Arvind.
No,
Arvind being a
not at all.
That's another story.
You have a problem with Arvind?
Not at all. Arvind is still, we are old friends. We resigned together.
If you have an act, Mr. Singh, if you have an act to grind with Arvind.
No, not at all.
We like what you're doing.
Arvind is still a good.
We are with you on this.
We will work together. In fact, I look forward to working with you together.
Absolutely.
And absolutely, I certainly,
and you will realize,
and I know your antecedents, and you would be very resolute in coming with us. And we want the potency of your crusade to be much more than that of against Salman Khurshid, because compared to Salman Khurshid, you yourself can judge which is more formidable. If this is more formidable, the intensity of your propaganda against Pawar has to be commensurate with that. And I think if Salman Khurshid, if the potency is 1 here, it should be 100.
Mr. Singh, we will not disappoint you. I understand your apprehensions, but please test us. We will not disappoint you.
My question to you is, however, and I still have a question here. You went very strong on Ajit Pawar yesterday, right? Shazia, look at it very logically. Here you have a situation where Ajit Pawar has taken a decision which benefits two members of his family to a fairly large financial extent, and there are questions of conflict of interest which are far more clear than what appeared to be a grainy picture yesterday saying here is a factory and here is the water that is being diverted to it, and 1% of that water goes to a factory, and hence your charge of conflict of interest yesterday about Ajit Pawar might appear prima facie to be weaker than the one which is put today. Therefore, my question to you is this. In retrospect, would India Against Corruption not believe that by only making this information public in terms of making it part of a website broadly when you released information on 15 ministers, instead of taking it forward in the focused manner that YP Singh has done today, that
Arvind
perhaps...
and Manish and Gopal Rai fasted for 8 days. These are the photographs. Praful Patel and Sharad Pawar. Please just go to your archives in your library, take those pictures.
How long have you been in possession of the...
launch a political party.
All the documents were out there.
That was, you see, one second. Shazia.
It culminated in a political party.
Shazia.
You know, it is so gratifying to know.
Shazia, not just that, Mr. Singh today says there is a factual...
BJP are baying for our blood.
No. Shazia, nobody's baying for your blood. That is, please don't feel that way. But Mr. Singh also pointed out a factual inaccuracy in your expose, which is a critical part, which he says that while you say that excess land must be returned to the farmers, which was the general view, he points out that the Supreme Court says that it must be put up for public auction. He makes that point yesterday.
It is very clear. I have given the ruling.
This is regarding the Gadkari case.
There is a government resolution also reinforcing the inferences of the Supreme Court, and to have made an allegation like this, the other side which is gunning against the civil society, they would certainly use this specific lapse. Gadkari, of course, there are other elements which make him culpable, but the fact remains that if you falter in one, these things are blown beyond proportion, and on the background of the fact that overall, the quantum of the pecuniary quantum is not so big, and it's rather a bit petty. So naturally, this is going to make
Shazia, did you feel at some point, as you said right now, that it is very difficult to take on Robert Vadra and it's even more difficult to take on Sharad Pawar? Candidly, did you feel that you should not fire all your bullets together that you should perhaps hesitate and move? Because were you worried at some point about taking on, and you can share this with me candidly tonight, were you worried about taking on too many big fish together at the same time, one after one? Were you sort of, that can be one explanation for why when you had the material you didn't go with it with the same ferocity that he did.
That's the very last thing. That's the very last thing you could accuse us of. Where Sharad Pawar, Praful Patel and all the charges against NCP are concerned, we have, and Congress and all the 15 ministers are out there in the open. Arvind, Manish,
Then why did Arvind not do what, why did,
what was the result? The result was to form a political party.
But nothing will stop us. Even Mr. Singh's, whatever motives he might ascribe to us, we will not also back down on saying things against Gadkari. If Mr. YP Singh feels we should not have said anything Gadkari,
no, not at all. Go ahead.
Not be cowed down.
Go ahead against Gadkari.
We will speak against Pawar, but we will not say things against Gadkari. If we have documents,
you go ahead against Mr. Gadkari. You go ahead. You go ahead. Go to the court. And but then you yourself apply your mind. The type of incriminating evidence of a formidable nature which I have presented, it does not justify that the intensity of the India Against Corruption campaign should be 100 times much more powerful. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Now Salman Khurshid is 71 lakhs. 71 lakhs. At the most, if there is something wrong, he may have gained 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs out of it. And here it is a question of 5,000 crores, 10,000 crores. Now you think that if Salman Khurshid, you have put in something, maybe 1 unit of your energy, would you put in 100 units of your energy against Pawar? And against Pawar, there is an intense revulsion amongst all the people. There are so many jokes floating around in the media, in the internet.
One minute, may I ask you one second, before you reply, one second. Shazia, before you reply, did you speak to, tell me honest, did you speak to Mr. Kejriwal about a week back? Can you please tell me yes or no? Because I have heard the buzz that you spoke to him 1 week back. I think it is time Newshour
it was a very brief conversation.
What was it about?
He was asking about a particular case.
Which particular case?
It was, I don't even remember what case it was.
Not this one case.
No, not
How
at
can
all.
You forget
and secondly, it was a very small conversation.
Why did you talk to him about this one?
No, the thing is that I am a lawyer. He is a client. A lawyer cannot solicit work from a client.
No, but you'd work together for this. You know he's in the public domain. You know he's having these press conferences.
I am an advocate. He's a client. How can I tell the client, give me work? It is against my professional ethics. He has to come to me and say...
You're an activist. You're not just a lawyer.
No, I am a professional lawyer. I am a registered advocate.
The person who did the press conference today was an activist or a lawyer?
I did it more as a lawyer. And it was something as an Indian citizen.
Do you feel that you could have picked up the phone in the course of that phone conversation, because this whole issue would have been welling up inside you somewhere?
I was not aware of that time that he's not going to expose.
No, you felt he would?
No, that was my expectation till the last moment. The hype which we had created, and everybody was waiting with bated breath.
You were almost sure that he would?
I was. When he talked of irrigation scam, I thought it is just Sharad Pawar and no one else.
You took it for granted?
I took it for granted, and yesterday in the evening, when I got to know that, it's a very small case compared to the Sharad Pawar's, whole night I sat with the documents and I collated the information and prepared a very crisp note so that it is very legally convincing to a layman also. And this is what I have presented. And I always say, don't go by my opinion, draw your own.
Shazia wants to...
This is so heartwarming. Arnab, this is so heartwarming. Just like there is competition amongst people to make more money, plunder more, loot more, cheat more. If there can be competition like this amongst honest people...
But that does not answer the question.
Imagine how great a fight.
He's not competing
against corruption.
No, he's not competing with Arvind. I don't think you're being very charitable to him. Do you think he's competing with Arvind Kejriwal?
No, I'm saying it in a very charitable way. And Mr. Singh knows that. And we applaud Mr. Singh's efforts. I think all these efforts should combine. We will not disappoint him. We are not scared in the least. All information on Sharad Pawar has already been put there. If you feel we should come out with more, please help us more. We are asking everybody to do that.
Okay, Shazia and YP Singh. Shazia and YP Singh.
I'm not slighted at all.
Certainly not. And I think at the end of the day, I don't think the questions need to be answered by those who are doing individual exposés. I think the questions need to be answered by those who are facing ethical questions, moral questions, questions of propriety, questions of fiscal prudence. They are the people who must answer. But I am glad that both sides have spoken out and candidly tonight. Shazia, thank you. YP Singh, thank you. and we'll wait for our next turn to talk to you again. Mr. YP Singh, thank you very much. Newsmaker of the day, aren't you? That's it on the Newshour tonight. Thank you very much for joining me. See you again tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.